Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make two very simple veg dish for our lunchtime. Firstly, I'm going to make some lovely potato choka. I have 5 small potatoes washed and I'm going to put it to boil with the peel. And my second dish will be lovely herbs curry. This I just cut from the garden. As you all know, there was a time that I showed you all I had a lot of pumpkin herbs, and I showed you all how to make the pumpkin herbs. This is spinach, but we usually call it Bhajia herbs. It's normally used for making bhajia, but when cooking it into a herbs curry, they melt away good as butter. So I've got some already cleaned, and I'm going to show you all how I'm going to clean. These stems are very soft. The leaves are quite soft. This is how we clean. We take a stem and then just pull them off. In the time of spring, we have a lot of this herbs growing in the garden. But if you had to buy this type herbs from Indian shop or a veg market, it's going to usually be about 3 bunches. So after cleaning this, I'm going to wash it about 4 rounds of water, and then I'll be ready to braise a herbs curry. You can usually use these stems because they're very soft. See, these are the very young stems. So I cut them with the stem and pull up the leaves. Here's my spinach herbs that I cleaned and I washed it thoroughly. Now I'm ready for the braising. For the braising, I have ½ cup of oil, 1 medium onions finely cut. To go with it, I have 4 dry chillies and 10 cloves of garlic. Herbs taste nice with a little extra garlic in it. And then I have 2 green chillies, ½ teaspoon of mustard seed, and to taste, I'm using a level teaspoon of salt. Must be very careful, especially when using salt in herbs. And then I have 2 big tomatoes cut, and little extra tomato to herbs curry also tastes nice. I've got my stove on moderate heat. I'm adding in my ½ cup of oil to heat up. Okay, now I'm putting in my sliced onions and allow this to brown a little. My onions has softened a bit, so in the meantime I'm going to add in my dry chilies, my mustard seed, and garlic. It's nice to use your garlic whole. Give it a mix and allow this to fry. My onions and dry chilies has fried out lovely. Now I'm just going to throw in my green chilies, and together I'm going to start putting in my herbs into the pot. So I'm going to put in my lid and allow this to sink down a little, because herbs, no matter how much you cook, it come to a little finish. Just a few minutes has passed us, and now you can see how less the herbs is. And now I'm going to lower my heat. Add in my salt, but you can taste the salt thereafter, because using salt in herbs had to be done very carefully. You might see a lot of herbs and think the salt is needed extra, but they finally cook to a very little finish. And then I add in my tomato and allow this to cook, and then our curry is done. My potatoes are boiled. Now I'm going to just take them off the stove and strain and allow it to cool. In the same pot that I boiled my potatoes, I'm going to just braise a little bit of dry chilies for the mash. For the braising, I have half a cup of oil and add it into the pot, and I have 3 small dry chilies that I'll add into the oil. My chilies is done. You don't have to let it to come too brown. Just heat it up, and the oil is heated up too. While the oil is cooling, I'm going to start the peeling of my potatoes and mashing of the potatoes. Here's my potatoes all peeled up and ready to mash. For the ingredients for the choka, I have a medium-sized onions cut finely, and then I have just 1 green chilies, but you can add green chilies to your taste. Then I have a teaspoon of fine salt. The salt also you can add per your taste. Then I have a tablespoon of margarine, and then I have a little bit of spring onions. But if you got fresh dhania, you can add a little bit of your dhania. And then I'm going to mash these potatoes and add it into the oil that I braised with the dry chilies. Okay, this is mashed, so I'm going to add it in to my pot and give it another good mash. Then I'm going to add in my margarine to melt into, my salt. Then I'm going to mash in all these ingredients together till it's smooth. Okay, this is nice and smooth. It's nice and smooth. And thereafter, I'm going to add in my shallots, finely cut onions, and chop in my green chilies. Before serving, we'll taste the salt. Okay, here's my choka made. My herbs has been cooking slowly and it's also done, so I'm ready to plate. Here you go, a very plain and simple and traditional lunchtime meal. We have our potato choka with the lovely bhaji and some nice homemade veg pickle and lovely hot roti to go with. Thank you all very much for watching and enjoy.